Hello there, welcome to another Mighty Glue Stick Monster Ecology video. Today I'm going to be talking about big cats and also big cat people. Just, a two for one sort of thing. Now, big cats, I think, are an interesting way into talking about animals. So, what we consider normal animals of our normal world. In a Dungeons and Dragons world, of course, these are normal monsters of the Dungeons and Dragons world. A big cat is a monstrous large cat that hunts and kills humanoids. So it's just as scary to them as it is to us. It's just as scary and real to them as a manticore or any other such beast that hunts and kills their livestock and humans in general. So the main thing to keep in mind with a lion or other big cat, and what I mean by big cats is you can also include um, any of the family. So tigers, lions, jaguars, and leopards are all members of the big cat family that can roar. Then you've got non-roaring big cats, which are cougars, clouded leopards, and cheetahs. And the clouded leopards, sort of the link, the lowest in the chain between the big cats and the smaller cat species, with the small cats being domestic cats and other sort of plains cats and forest cats that hunt small prey. But big cats in general and lions in particular are of most interest. So if you encounter a lion in the D&D world, there are no thoughts about conservation or the natural balance or anything like that. You think, oh, either one, this thing could kill me, and it's probably not alone. And two, what an excellent prize this is. What a valuable pelt. What great teeth. What great claws. Even the tail alone is a worthy trophy. If I can just go and hunt this thing and trap it and kill it, I'll earn myself a hefty amount of money, particularly if it's a head with a mane, because it's favoured by barbarian tribes for cloaks and things. So a D&D character doesn't think about conservation. Possibly even elven species don't think about conservation because particularly lions aren't really found in forests overly much. They're usually found in grasslands and plains and clearings, and they hang out around waterholes and things like that, and they rove around quite a large hunting area. Tigers, on the other hand, prefer woodland, and they've got a much wider habitat range than lions do, and they're typically solitary, which makes an interesting contrast between lions and tigers, because although tigers are larger generally than the lions, they're not that good at scrapping and going toe-to-toe with an animal. They're ambush predators. And they're not raised constantly fighting for supremacy in the pack like the lions are. So lions are much better at going toe-to-toe with a creature than a tiger does. Tigers are very good at ambushing and killing something quickly. Tigers are much better at bringing down large prey and working together as a team, and have much more complex social dynamics. So what is a lion? It's got an armor class of 12, hit points of 26, and its speed of 50 feet means that it can chase down most people who try and run away from it. So your best bet, I guess, is to call it out and try and kill it as quickly as possible. They've got a strength of 17, dexterity 15, constitution of 13, and a wisdom of 12. So they are cunning, and they're very physically capable. They are physically capable of taking down a human being. No problem. They've got a perception of +3, stealth of +6. They sneak up on you, and then they charge at you with that speed of 50 feet and launch into an immediate pounce. If the lion moves at least 20 feet straight towards a creature and then hits it with a claw attack on the same turn, that target must succeed on a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone. If the target is prone, the lion can make a bite attack against it as a bonus action. So it leaps in. Running leap with a 10-foot running start, the lion can make a long jump of 25 feet straight over some grass or over a muddy riverbank or something like that, and do the pounce attack, get the claws in, and then do a bite attack as well. Claws are +5 to hit, and do 6 points of damage, or 1d6 +3 slashing damage, and the bite does 7 points, 1d8 +3 piercing damage. So yeah, that's generally what they do. They also get an excellent sense of smell, and their checks rely on smell. So if you avoid make sure that the wind is going the right way, so that you're upwind of them, they possibly won't be able to detect you so well, and that perception check won't apply. They have pack tactics, which means that a lion has advantage on the attack roll against a creature if at least one other of its allies is within 5 feet of the creature and isn't incapacitated. Now, that's extremely important when you're dealing with lions as opposed to tigers and other big cats that hunt solitary. When the lions gang up against you, which they most certainly will, that advantage that they have on attack rolls means that they can take you out really quickly, and it's extremely dangerous. And DMs, be aware how potent it is when you've got when you're rolling 2d20 on every single attack roll. Chances are you're going to hit and damage the players every single time, particularly if the lions are singling out one or two players and leveling all their attacks against that player. They're going to bring that player down pretty quickly, because that's exactly what lions do. They concentrate on one target, and they all gang up and try and bring it down. And once they bring it down, they cut off its air supply and start to eat it immediately while it's still alive. So yeah, they're quite scary. Really, when you think about it, if you find yourself being hunted by lions, it's a terrifying prospect, and you're looking at a fight for your life, a fight to the death. And as long as one or two lions is still capable of having a go, the others will gang in and fight you and try and bring you down, because they get that advantage of fighting together, of using their pack tactics against you. That's exactly how lions do it. If anybody's ever watched a nature video, you'll see that a bunch of male lions hunting at night can bring down the largest of plains animals, such as elephants and things like that. They can work together to savage that thing, wear it out, and bring it down. It's a terrifying attack. Lions themselves are pretty enough, majestic-looking creatures, and they've got a roar that you can hear from miles away. But up close and personal, they're fairly horrid animals with quite a stinky reputation. I've heard people say that they don't smell particularly well in the wild. And yeah, they're a different kettle of fish from your average cat. Not a domestic house cat at all. They're definitely a wild animal. Of course, in Dungeons and Dragons and other fantasy games, you can get pretty wild and crazy with lions, and have them grow to giant size, or have dire lions which have got spikes growing out of their back and can talk to you. You have lions that may possibly be from other planes of existence, so celestial lions, or beasts from the Biopia or the Happy Hunting Grounds, or other such places that are fairly sentient, and do actually have social dynamics where they sort of talk to each other. They may be companions or raised as protectors of fey creatures or elven enclaves, and that sort of thing. The other thing I wanted to talk about is Leonals. That's Leonnal, if you're looking at artwork and work on those. That's basically the big cat humanoids. Quite different from the wildlings, or Wilden, and the shifters that you had in 4th edition. In fact, I don't think there's really been a very good modern interpretation. There might have been something in 3.5. What essentially, if you've got a big cat person, you could either use half orcs or possibly even Dragonborn as a template. In fact, I'd say half orcs are probably more appropriate, except instead of giving them the famous endurance and being knocked down to below 0 hit points and just recovering, ending with on 1 hit point of the orcs, just give them a claw attack. So essentially give them a 1d6 natural claw attack with strength bonus added, of course. And if they manage to strike a critical strike with a claw attack, they also knock the opponent prone. And that's really it. And everything else is just basically exactly the same. Mechanically, they have +2 to their strength and +1 to their endurance, and they've got that same claw attack. They do have dark vision, the same as a half orc would, and that's basically it. Everything else is essentially exactly the same. So you could say that they have small pack-like societies where they've got a dominant male, which is the sire of most of the children, and a group of females that look after the pack's day-to-day affairs and do most of the actual hunting. But the lions will go out and take out Like the male lions will go out and take out large prey or threats. That's essentially what they do in the wild, and I see no reason why an intelligent big cat species would not do the same sort of thing. So yeah, but I mean, they're fascinating, and you can get some really good artwork, and the feel of a big cat humanoid be most impressive. Yeah, I'd love to play one of those guys for sure. But I mean, mechanically, they wouldn't be very disruptive in the game at all, I don't think. So I would throw them in for sure. And if somebody asked me, "Hey, could I play this?" I would throw them a half-orc template and say, "Yep, go for it." So yeah, that's basically it. Just think about how the attitude of D&D people towards normal animals in the environment, and also think about how those animals' behavior would change if there's much bigger fish out there. How would I mean, lions wouldn't sit around lazing around in the middle of the savannah all day. If dragons and harpies and things could plunge out of the sky and kill them at any time, they would seek shelter. They would be constantly on the move. Lions may be much more cunning and mobile and stealthy than they are in our world, because they have bigger fish on the food chain that are also hunting them. And of course, lions may be either less common or more common, depending on what's going on, and they would hunt a much wider variety of prey, including other monstrous species, particularly lions, because I think lions wouldn't really tolerate a lot of competition in their environment, so they might go after um, creatures like basilisks and things, and may possibly have developed tactics in order to deal with them, which would add an interesting aspect to a combat against a bunch of lions that aren't acting the same way that lions in our world would, because they've actually fought different types of creatures and have different types of techniques for hunting things or just for defending themselves. Lions that stay out of sight or do use hit and fade tactics, or use ambush tactics, much like tigers do, to take down opponents as quickly as possible, one at a time, and use those pack tactics to their best advantage to kill a person, and then hightail it out of there, stealthily sneak up again and take out one person after another in a humanoid adventuring party. So yeah, lions, tigers, oh my.